If you've ever wanted to knit colourwork but you've no idea where to start, this is the tutorial for you. I thought I would start a new little series just showing you the basics of colourwork so that you can get started on your project. Oh, and hi, I'm Anna from Needle and Feather and I design unique heirloom colourwork patterns. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to knit this colourwork square using this chart here. First up is how to read the chart. So the squares along the bottom show how many stitches there are, and then the vertical column is how many rows there are. Each square represents one stitch. Because colourwork knitting uses more than one colour, each colour will be represented by a different shade of square. So we have the lighter colour is my main colour, which I'm knitting in cream, and the darker square is my contrast colour, which is mustard. Cast on the number of stitches required in your preferred manner. For this project, we're just casting on the same number of stitches as there are squares, which is 23. Make sure you're starting on a knit row and then look at the first row of your chart. Colourwork charts are read from the bottom up with knit rows from right to left and purl rows from left to right. With this colourwork chart, I need to knit 2 stitches in my main colour, cream, and then 3 stitches in my contrast colour, which is mustard. So now it's time to join in my contrast colours. Insert the tip of the right needle into the next stitch on the left needle as if to knit, and then take your contrast colour. Measure out a long tail of around 10 centimetres and then pass the yarn over the right hand needle with the long tail on the right hand side. Knit the stitch and then continue to knit the pattern. So in this case, 2 more mustard stitches. Make sure you're using the yarn attached to the ball, not the long tail. My next stitch is my main colour, which is cream. So I'm going to pick up the cream yarn and then pass it over the top of my mustard yarn and knit the stitch. It doesn't matter whether you're passing it under or over, but keep this consistent. So for example, my cream will always go over and my mustard will always go under. This helps to prevent your yarn from getting twisted as you're using. Next, I've got 3 mustard stitches. So again, I'm going to knit 3 and then drop that yarn, pick up my main colour, which is cream, and then knit 1 stitch. When a yarn hasn't been used for a few stitches, it creates what we call a float. A float is just a yarn that's not being knitted, and it's really important that we keep those stitches as loose and as relaxed as possible. If they're held too tight, your knitting will begin to pucker and it will affect the tension across the whole piece. Keep an eye out for future videos with lots of tips and tricks. Knit right the way to the end and then cast off your stitches. And there you have your finished colourwork square. I hope this tutorial has been really helpful. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and if there's any videos you'd like to see, do let me know. If you enjoyed that and you'd like to try out some more colourwork patterns, then just comment RAV, R-A-V, and you'll get a link to all of my patterns on Ravelry. Bye!